as you probably have heard, and some of you have reported, a missile was launched a little while ago from North Korea. I will only tell you that we will take care of it. We have General Mattis in the room with us, and we've had a long discussion on it. It is a situation that we will handle.
But the bottom line is it's a continued effort to build a threat, sir, a ballistic missile threat that endangers world peace, regional peace, and certainly the United States.
Thank you, General, and we will take care of that situation.
That was the President. Secretary of Defense James Mattis responding to North Korea's launch of yet another ballistic missile earlier today. Here at the very latest in Washington, Ed Henry, 50 minutes,
well, Sean,
600 miles
President
up.
Trump has now spoken to the Prime Minister of Japan and the President of South Korea to stay on top of this because, as you noted, missile experts say this is how big it is. This shows North Korea can now launch a missile that puts every single American city in its range. That's because while North Korea had previously fired 2 intercontinental ballistic missiles, this one went higher than the others. Shot off the west coast of North Korea, flew 2,800 miles into space for a total of 50 minutes. That's 10 times higher than the orbit of NASA's space station before falling just 280 miles off the shores of Japan. That led Vice President Mike Pence just a few moments ago in a speech to warn Pyongyang not to test this American president and this American military.
The Kim regime in North Korea would do well not to test the resolve of this president or the capabilities of the armed forces of the United States of America. As President Trump said today, we will take care of the situation. All options are on the table, and we will continue to marshal the full resources of the United States to bring economic and diplomatic pressure to bear until North Korea abandons its nuclear and ballistic missile programs once and for all.
And just a few moments ago, the president issued a warning to Democratic leaders in Congress that he does not want a government shutdown, tweeting that it is more important than ever that the military be fully funded. Sean?
All right, Ed Henry live in Washington tonight. Thank you. Joining us now with a reaction, Fox News national security strategist, former deputy assistant to the president, Sebastian Gorka. We've discussed in detail, not a lot of good options here. It's going to be take it off the pad next time, take it out of the sky as it's launched, and then potentially all hell breaks loose and we'd have to take out all their sites, correct? But great danger, great peril.
There is great peril, but in fact it's North Korea that has escalated the peril. And at some point the president will have to take action. Secretary Mattis has been very clear today. This is a direct threat to the United States, and we cannot wait until the next missile lands on U.S. soil, whether it's Guam or whether it's the continental U.S. There's 3 very special issues here, Sean. At some point, the credibility of the United States is put in question. The president has shown leadership, whether it's in Syria with the cruise missile strikes, whether it's the 21,000-pound bomb in Afghanistan. We need to maintain that credibility to assure our allies and our friends like Japan. Secondly, there's the issue of other regimes cannot be encouraged to behave the way North Korea is. This is a very, very bad example to set for others. And lastly, Sean, there has to be a cost for threatening the United States of America. I'm not an interventionist. I know you're not an interventionist, and I know, because I worked for him, the president is not an interventionist. But if you threaten us, if you're a tin pot bully, like the regime in North Korea and little Kim, then sooner or later you will pay for your threats. That's where we have reached today, Sean.
But I would expect this is not going to be a protracted conflict. This will be massive and overwhelming, a use of force. But there's risks, nuclear fallout. If we hit their nuclear facilities, what is Kim Jong-un's reaction? Does he fire at Japan? Does he fire at Guam or Hawaii or South Korea, obviously, and Seoul?
Look, the United States of America is the most powerful nation on God's earth. It's the most powerful nation we have ever seen in American history. By comparison, North Korea may be a nuclear state, but it is Lilliputian. The president has said it. Secretary Mattis has said it. We will destroy you. And we're not talking about the North Korean people. We're talking about the regime. So we can do amazing things if We are pushed to do so. We don't want to. The president told me one day in the Oval Office, just the two of us, I do not want to go to war in Korea. But sooner or later, you make threats that are explicit and you must be dealt with. But it will not be nice. It will be the last resort.
Agreed. And not a favorable, but it will happen, and they will invite it at this point. Well said. Dr. Gorka, thank you. When we come back.